My child, stop scrolling. This is not a coincidence. This is a divine interruption. I, the Lord your God, have broken through the noise of your day because I have something urgent, sacred, and specifically timed to say to you. This is not just another video. This is a call from heaven, and I need you to stay until the very last word. Your spirit has been reaching, your soul has been aching, and now I'm answering. Every second you remain is a second I will speak directly to your deepest places. Do not silence me. Do not turn away. Because what you're about to hear will shift the atmosphere over your life. This is your moment of divine alignment. And if you walk away too soon, you'll miss what I've been preparing for this very hour and day. Listen. Respond. Because heaven is waiting for your answer. My beloved child, still your racing thoughts, and lean in not with your mind, but with your spirit. This moment is not a casual scroll or an accidental encounter. This is not another fleeting word in a world filled with noise. This is your burning bush, your parted sky, your divine interruption from the eternal. I have initiated this contact, not through human effort, not by algorithm, not by coincidence, but by the orchestration of heaven itself. I sent this message down like a lightning strike, wrapped in gentleness, because your soul has reached a frequency that finally aligned with the urgency of my call. The throne room has not been silent. No, child. The air around you has been vibrating with angelic dispatches, with heavenly intent, with a deep thrum of destiny echoing your name. You sensed it, haven't you? The tension in your chest that no doctor could explain. That stirring at midnight. That pause mid-sentence. That moment when you looked around and felt as if something holy had entered the room. That was me. Not distant, not detached, but right there, breaking through the veil, reaching across dimensions to press my voice against the walls of your heart. You must understand, this isn't just another comforting message meant to soothe. It's a call, a literal call, from the eternal realm into the temporal one. You have been summoned, and not out of obligation, but out of divine intimacy. I'm calling you by name, not your title, not your role, not the version of you the world knows. I'm calling the inner you, the one who has cried quietly in bathrooms, who has questioned silently in church pews, who has worshipped while bleeding internally. I see you. I know you. And I have chosen this exact second in the timeline of eternity to reach you, not because you're perfect, but because you are mine. You are the one I've been watching when no one else noticed. You are the one whose name I whispered into the ears of angels, while others thought you were forgotten. This call doesn't come with fanfare, but with fire. It's not wrapped in thunder, but it carries thunderous weight. I'm not merely delivering encouragement. I'm transferring a mantle. The line is open. My voice is clear. The atmosphere is charged. And you, beloved, are standing on holy ground, cloaked in ordinary hours. Don't mistake the simplicity of this moment for insignificance. Don't dismiss this divine dialing as imagination. I've bypassed the crowd to talk to you. This is the throne room speaking, and heaven won't hang up until you answer. My beloved, do you remember those nights when your dreams felt like messages wrapped in mystery? The ones that lingered in your spirit long after the sun rose, strange, symbolic, sometimes unsettling, but deeply sacred. That was me speaking beyond the noise of your daily rhythm, bypassing your weary mind to reach your waiting soul. I've been calling you child, not once, not twice, but endlessly. Not out of frustration, but out of holy persistence. Heaven does not give up on its own. I dialed your spirit through divine disruptions, those delays that irritated your plans, those roadblocks that forced you to pause those moments when your forward motion felt stuck. That wasn't punishment. That was precision. I used divine detours to draw your heart closer to mine, because sometimes what feels like denial is actually deep design. Even the silence you feared was abandonment was, in truth, my alignment lining up the people, the timing, the terrain. Everything necessary to prepare the landing strip for what I'm about to release into your life. And I know how hard it was to interpret my stillness, the unanswered prayers, the prolonged waiting, the way hope dimmed like a candle running low on wax. You kept looking for noise, for signs, for thunder, but I wasn't shouting. I was whispering beneath the surface of your spirit, stirring something deeper than surface answers. You weren't being ignored. You were being trained to discern. Every moment I seemed distant, I was in fact deeply involved, dialing your soul with dreams coded in kingdom language, with situations that pressed your heart toward purpose, with divine tension that stretched your faith until it could carry more glory. Every wrong route was a rehearsal for revelation. Every ache of confusion was planting seeds of divine clarity. You didn't miss the call, child. You're just now stepping into a signal strong enough to receive what I've been sending all along. I want you to understand something sacred. I don't just call when it's convenient. I call when it's critical. I've been waking you with dreams that weren't just messages. They were mirrors, reflections of your calling. Blueprints disguised in symbolism, instructions encrypted in parables of the night. Even your delays weren't pauses. They were protection. I kept you from rushing into rooms where your spirit would have been crushed. I withheld certain outcomes, not to punish, but to preserve. I am the author of timing, the keeper of pace, the orchestrator of destiny. I know when to slow the music, so your soul can learn the rhythm of grace. So trust this. Every time you wondered if you were stuck, you were actually stationed in a sacred position. And now the alignment is complete. Now the signal is open. Now the divine dial-up can begin. And so I call again, not with accusation, but with affection. Not with irritation, but with invitation. You've matured in the mystery. You grow in the gap. And now I speak with greater clarity than ever before. You'll feel it. The sudden peace, the shift in the wind of your spirit. The sacred hush that comes before manifestation. That's me dialing again with urgency laced in love. I never stopped calling. I never stopped believing in your capacity to answer. And now I see you leaning in. I see your heart tune. I see your spirit picking up. Stay right there, child. The next message is already pressing against your soul like a holy kiss. The silence has made space for the sound of glory, and your name is echoing through heaven again. Pause with me now. Breathe in the sacred stillness I've woven into this moment. Do you feel it? That hush in the atmosphere? That weight in your spirit that won't let you scroll past this? That's not emotion. That's encounter. That's me, the God of glory, calling all of heaven to stillness, because my eyes are on you. Yes, you. While the world spins with distractions, deadlines, and demands, I have hushed the angelic host. I've told them to wait. I've delayed the announcements of stars, the courses of comets, the unfolding of divine blueprints in nations, because this moment between you and me matters more than any of that. You see a screen. I see a sanctuary. You feel alone in the room. I see a one-on-one appointment etched into eternity before your first breath. This is not metaphor. This is manifestation. This is the still point where earth meets heaven, where I stand face to face with the one I love. And I say, will you hear me now? Child, I cannot. I will not force you to receive what I'm carrying. I could overwhelm you with wonder, flood your room with angelic light, shake the ground beneath you with trumpet sounds. But I choose instead to wait. Why, Because what I'm offering isn't a transaction. It's a trust exchange. This release requires more than curiosity. It demands attention. Focus. Surrender. You cannot multitask this miracle. You cannot half listen to glory. The mantle I'm holding in my hands was crafted specifically for you. Stitched with your tears, marked by your endurance, saturated with prayers you forgot you prayed. I didn't design it for a crowd. I tailored it for the one who would answer when everything else fought for their attention. And now that moment has arrived. The release is ready, but it's waiting on your response. And heaven is holding its breath with me. Can you feel the tension? Not of fear, but of fullness. The kind of weight that comes right before a cloud bursts into rain. That's what's hovering now. A divine downpour of clarity, healing, favor, strategy, and sacred surprise. But it all falls on distracted soil. That's why I've drawn you into stillness, not to isolate you, but to initiate you. Here is the reason why this feels more than emotional. Here is the reason why your chest tightens, your eyes. Well, your breath catches. It's because your spirit recognizes the magnitude of this moment. You've stood on the edge of many things, decisions, breakthroughs, shifts. But this one requires your full yes, not just a nod, not just a passing amen. I need your heart to bow your soul, to open your mind, to quiet. Because what I'm placing in your spirit will shake the cages you didn't even know you were in. So listen, my beloved, not just with ears, but with hunger. The angels have paused their proclamations. The scrolls of destiny are open, but unread. The air around you is trembling with potential, but the key has always been your attention. What I'm unlocking in this moment won't just change your direction. It will rewrite the undercurrent of your days. What was dull will burn. What was left will live. What was unclear will crystallize with brilliance. But it begins now, with stillness, with sacred pause, with the heart crying, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." Because I am, and what I say next is too holy to miss. My beloved, lean in. Lean in with your whole being, your tired heart, your questioning mind, your aching soul, because I need you to know this with such depth that it rewrites the lies etched into your memory. I see you. I hear you. Not in passing, not in pity, not like a distant observer, but like a father who watches every breath as if it were sacred, every sigh as if it were scripture. You wandered in the stillness of night, in the corners of empty rooms, in the hollow silence after long prayers. God, do you still see me? You didn't ask it out loud, but your tears carried the question. And child, I'm answering now. Not with vague symbols, not with delayed signs, but with thunderous clarity wrapped in tenderness. Yes, I have seen every moment, every ache, every prayer you whispered when no one else was listening. I have not missed a millisecond of your pain or your perseverance. Even the angels, those mighty ones who stand in perpetual awe of my glory, have leaned in closer at the sound of your name. When you wept and still worshipped, they watched in reverence. When you lifted trembling hands in faith, while your world was falling apart, they recorded it in scrolls sealed with wonder. Your story, your struggle, your secret sacrifices, they have become testimonies at heavenly places. Do you understand how rare that is? Do you grasp how precious you are? You're not one among many in my eyes. You are the one I fought through darkness to reach, the one I hovered over in sleepless nights, the one I marked with divine fingerprints before the foundations of the earth. Every fiber of heaven has been tuned to the sound of your voice. When you ask if I hear you, the answer shakes the skies. I don't just hear you, I feel you. I resonate with the rhythm of your longing. There is no part of your journey I have ignored. The times you were overlooked by others, I leaned in closer. When you were misunderstood, I understood completely. When you were betrayed, I stood beside you and wrote my promise deep into your soul. You are not forgotten. You are not background noise. You are the beating heart of my attention. Even in your confusion, your pain hasn't been wasted. It has been woven into the very tapestry of my divine unfolding. What looked like silence was me speaking in the language of mystery. What felt like absence was my presence hidden beneath the surface, fertilizing your spirit for fruit that lasts. You've passed tests others never even knew were happening. You've held on to faith when it would have been easier to let go. It's why I'm making this call louder than doubt, louder than shame, louder than fear. So believe me when I say, yes, I see, yes, I hear, yes, I'm answering now. Not with a whisper, but with a wave. Not with crumbs, but with confirmation. You are not the forgotten one. You are the focused one. The one I've been waiting to bless openly after watching you trust me in secret. The wait was not punishment. It was preparation. And this message is your announcement. The audience of heaven has heard your faith. And now I'm turning the volume up on your favor. Can you hear it, child? Not with ears, but with your spirit. That subtle thrum, that internal pull, that unmistakable signal vibrating beneath your skin. That's the call. That's me. The line between heaven and your heart is clearer than it has ever been. The frequency is sharp. The atmosphere is pregnant. And the message I've encoded into this moment is bursting to be delivered. I didn't send this message through thunder or spectacle because I'm not competing with the noise. I'm conquering it with stillness. But the line is open now, and I need you to hear this clearly. Do not send me to voicemail with your busyness. Do not silence the sacred with the volume of distraction. Do not delay your destiny because your mind is too full of lesser things. The world is noisy. Yes, but my voice is the note that holds the harmony together. And right now, I'm singing your name into the silence you've tried to avoid. You have scrolled past signs. You have walked past wonders. You've minimized moments that were miracles in disguise. And still I called again. Still I reached out. Still I left messages in the mouths of strangers, in the lyrics of songs, in the delay that seemed frustrating, but was actually favor dressed in camouflage. I even positively positioned you. I used interruptions to reintroduce you to your purpose. And now I need you to be present. Present in a way that drowns out the clutter. Present in a way that rewires your awareness. Present in a way that doesn't reduce this divine encounter to a fleeting notification. I'm not background noise. I am the frequency your soul was designed to hear. And the message I'm delivering now, it's time-sensitive. It's spirit-shifting. It's heaven-breaking protocol to break through your walls. You let too many things answer before me. Too many opinions. Too many fears. Too many projections of people who never saw your full picture. They've taken my place in your decision-making, but not anymore. I am reclaiming the seat of your attention. I'm turning off the echo chamber and tuning you back to truth. Because if you don't catch this signal now, the delay will not just be in time, it will be in transformation. And I don't want you to miss 1 second of what I'm releasing. The urgency you feel, it's not stress. It's spiritual clarity knocking against your numbness, begging to be felt again. You were not created to live on mute. You were created to commune, to hear, to discern, to move at the sound of my breath. So answer now, beloved. Let the distractions fall like dust. Let every competing voice be silenced by the strength of my whisper. I'm not offering you noise. I'm offering you navigation. I'm not giving you goosebumps. I'm giving you guidance. And the line is still open. The signal's still strong. But your yes is what completes the circuit. Will you pick up this time? Will you lean in and listen, like your next season depends on it? Because it does. Heaven has spoken. Will earth respond? O child, how many times have you stood in the crowd of others' blessings and quietly wondered, what about me? How many celebrations did you clap for, while your own hands trembled in hidden sorrow? You saw the doors swing open for others, while yours remained shut. You watched them testify, dance, rejoice, and though you smiled something deep inside, you whispered a different question. Was I forgotten? Hear me now. I'm stepping into that ache with fire in my voice and tenderness in my tone to say this. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. You were being reserved. The edge of breakthrough you've been standing on was not a misdirection. It was a divine staging ground. And now your name is echoing through the throne room of heaven. Not their name, yours. The spotlight of my glory is not generic. It is deliberate. It is intentional. And it has landed on you. Not because others failed, but because your time has arrived. You see, I do not operate on earthly algorithms. I don't calculate destiny based on popularity, productivity, or performance. I measure in heartbeats, in hidden sacrifices, in silent obedience, in moments no one clapped for, but heaven recorded. And that is why this breakthrough is not late. It's right on time. The seasons of delay were never me withholding out of cruelty. They were me preparing out of love. I could not release what was promised until your hands were ready to hold it without harming your soul. I needed to protect you from receiving too soon what was always meant to be holy. That's why while others received recognition, you received revelation. While they were promoted in public, I was promoting you in the private places, giving you spiritual stamina, teaching your heart how to trust me. When applause was absent, when validation was scarce, when evidence was invisible. And now, child, the preparation has met its moment. This is the hour when the name you thought heaven had forgotten is the name that's now being spoken with reverence. Yours. You're not riding someone else's wave. You're walking on your own water. This isn't a borrowed blessing. It's a blueprint built for your DNA. I customized this shift for you. Every detail, every dimension, every divine connection. I engraved your name into the scroll of manifestation with a hand that never forgets. And just like the stars are called out one by one, and none are missing. I call you out today not as a background character, but as a chosen vessel. The long wait was not an empty hallway. It was a holy womb, and what I'm birthing through you now will carry the sound of heaven's timing, so distinct, so undeniable. So don't shrink. Don't apologize for the favor I'm pouring out. Don't second-guess the voice that's calling. It's mine, and I'm not calling generally. I'm calling personally, intimately, powerfully. This is not their moment. It is yours. This is not about what others received. It's about what I reserved. And what I reserved, I'm now releasing. Not in trickles, but in torrents. Not in fractions, but in fullness. And the angels who watched you weep in secret are now watching you rise in glory. My beloved, pick up the call because your name has reached heaven's lips, and I will not rest until you know I was always planning this moment for you. You've been waiting, haven't you? Waiting for something to finally click. Waiting for the fog to lift. Waiting for that one clear word that doesn't just land in your ears, but explodes in your spirit with certainty. You said it beneath your breath, God, just give me a sign. You weren't asking for fireworks. You weren't demanding visions or voices. You just needed confirmation. Sacred, undeniable confirmation that what you were sensing wasn't just wishful thinking. Well, child, here it is. This is that sign. This is that word. This is me confirming what your soul has been aching to hear. You're not crazy. You're not off track. You're not overthinking. The deep unrest you've carried wasn't confusion. It was divine communication. I've been tugging at your spirit, planting questions that made you pause, allowing discomfort that made you press. Because I never wanted you to settle. I wanted you to sense me. The sleepless nights, they weren't interruptions. They were invitations. The unease you felt around certain places, certain people, certain diseases, but wasn't paranoia. That was my spirit pulling you back from lesser paths while whispering, "This is not your way." You asked for guidance, but didn't always recognize how I deliver it. I speak in nudges more often than neon. I lead through peace that won't settle until you obey. And every restless stirring that ache, that won't let you get comfortable has been me. Not scolding you, not pushing you, but gently, persistently guiding you toward the place where you finally pick up the call. You see, I knew what you needed. I knew a vague word wouldn't be enough. I knew your heart couldn't afford more ambiguity. That's why I orchestrated this divine collision, this holy moment, where what you felt inside is finally spoken aloud with divine clarity. You weren't wrong. You weren't lost. You were being tuned. The dissonance you've been feeling was me deconstructing your false rhythms so I could rewire you with my sound. The ache was proof of alignment in progress, and now with heaven as your witness, I'm confirming what you've hoped, but didn't dare to say out loud. You are being positioned for purpose. Every delay was designed. Every detour was development. And this very word is the doorway you've been waiting for. So receive it, child. Don't brush it off as emotional. Don't downplay it as coincidence. This isn't just comfort. This is commission. I'm not soothing you into stagnation. I'm stirring you into movement. Let this confirmation anchor you. Let it silence the questions that have clouded your confidence. Let it become the fuel that reignites the flame you thought had gone out. You don't need another sign. You don't need another person's approval. You need to remember who called you. And I'm here calling again. Not with volume, but with verification. You heard right. You sensed correctly. You're standing at the threshold, and I'm handing you the key. Don't wait for a louder voice. This is the one that parts seas, that raises the dead, that rebuilds dreams. Answer now. Your confirmation has arrived. Child, hear me. I've never been impressed by performance. I've never once waited for you to get everything right before I move. I don't require perfection to pour out promise. I never asked for flawless obedience. What I ask for is permission. I wait. Not for your record to be spotless, but for your heart to be surrendered. My move isn't triggered by your success. It's triggered by your yes. Not the loud yes. Not the public yes. But the trembling yes you whisper when no one's watching. The yes that rises up from the ruins of your failures and says, God, I don't understand, but I'm still willing. That yes, beloved, that's what draws me. That's what summons the supernatural. That's what causes heaven's weight to rest upon a fragile soul. Because I don't bless bravado. I bless brokenness that is willing to open anyway. You've been told by the world that you have to clean yourself up before you come to me, that you need more discipline, more progress, more clarity before you're ready. But I say this with holy fire. I do not anoint the qualified. I qualify the available. And you, in your trembling, doubting, unfinished self, are more ready than you know. Because I'm not asking you to be stronger. I'm asking you to be honest. I'm not asking you to be flawless. I'm asking you to be open. All I've ever needed to launch a miracle was a mustard seed of surrender. And child, I see it in you. I see the part of you that is tired of striving, exhausted by expectations, and finally willing to admit, I can't do this without you. That's the place where I move. That's the ground where I plant the unexplainable. Do you not know? I built my kingdom with people who failed forward, with voices that once trembled with hands, that once shook with lives that looked disqualified in every earthly sense. Yet still I called them. Still I chose them. Still I entrusted them with glory because they said yes when it didn't make sense, when it didn't feel safe, when it didn't look possible. And you, my beloved, are standing at the same divine doorway. I don't need more from you. I just need more of you. Your presence, your surrender, your truth. Lay down the mask. Lay down the pressure. Lay down the false theology that says you must be impressive to be useful. I have no interest in your perfection. I am obsessed with your permission to say yes. Say it again even if you've said it before. Say it with tears. Say it with shaky hands. Say it even if you're scared. Because the moment your yes leaves your lips, even silently, I move. I activate what has been waiting. I stir angels into motion. I break open atmospheres. I deliver what was delayed. Your yes is not small. It is seismic. It carries the authority of heaven's yes back to you. And when those two align, your surrender and my sovereignty, no force in hell can stop what I'm about to do. So release it now. Not your effort. Not your excellence. Yes. Your yes. That's all I've been waiting for. Stop right here. Don't scroll. Don't skim. Don't dismiss this like the others. Because this one, this message, this moment carries weight. It carries my breath. It carries eternity woven into every word. I've watched you, child, how you searched for something that would finally speak to the deep void no one else seems to see. You've been flooded with content, advice, noise wrapped in inspiration. And yet none of it settled your spirit. You kept scrolling, hoping that maybe one message would finally feel different. That it wouldn't just sound spiritual, but would feel sacred. And now here you are, reading the very message you've been aching to receive, not crafted by human insight, but delivered by divine intention. This is not another post. This is prophecy in motion. This is heaven's interruption. You see, I knew exactly when you'd open this. I orchestrated every delay, every misclick, every redirection, just so you would land here in this holy moment, where eternity collides with time. I didn't let you find what you were looking for earlier, because what I needed to give you couldn't be reduced to a quote or a quick word. It needed breath. It needed fire. It needed a direct download from my heart to yours. That ache you've been feeling, it was me preparing you for this. That unsettled restlessness, it was my spirit vibrating inside your chest, calling you to slow down, to lean in, to listen. I waited until now to speak this loud, this clear, because your heart is finally tuned to hear it. Not just hear it, receive it. You're not imagining the power of this moment. That lump in your throat, the burning in your chest, the tears you didn't plan to cry. Those are all signs of spiritual contact. This isn't emotional manipulation. This is divine revelation. I have stopped everything, yes, everything, to meet with you here, not as a motivational moment, but as a supernatural milestone. You've crossed into sacred ground, and this message is the proof. This is heaven's confirmation that I see you scrolling, searching, starving for something real. And now I say, I am the real you've been hungry for. I am the word behind every word. I am the voice calling louder than the noise, whispering louder than the shout. I'm not part of the content stream. I am the creator who interrupts it. So take this seriously. Let the scrolling stop here. Let this be the line drawn in the sand. You don't need to keep chasing another message. You found the one that found you. Because I came looking for you in the wilderness of distraction, in the deserts of delay. I carved a path through your digital exhaustion to plant this flame of truth in front of you. Drink it up. Don't keep moving. Let this word move in you. Let it burn the lies. Let it cut through the fog. Let it remind you this isn't just a message. It's a miracle. And I wrote it with your name on it. I saw you, not just the version of you others recognize, not the smile you wore, not the brave face you gave your friends, not the composed mask you wore in church or at work. I saw the real you, the undone you, the trembling you underneath the toughness you, the one who sat alone in the stillness and whispered, "I can't keep doing this." The one who reached a quiet breaking point and almost didn't get back up. That version of you, I was there with them. Every sigh, every stare into the ceiling, every time you curled into yourself and tried to muffle your sobs because you didn't want anyone to hear, I heard. I didn't turn away. I leaned in. You didn't even know how to pray those nights, but your breath was enough. Your broken silence became a sacred song in my ears. Don't let anyone make you think I was absent in those moments. Don't buy the lie that heaven only sees you when you're strong. Child, I specialize in the secret places. I live in the ache behind your laughter. I camp out in the pause between your sentences. When your voice was too weak to call for me, I came anyway. I counted the tears that rolled down your cheeks and into your pillow. Not one drop went unnoticed. Each tear held a prayer, and each prayer carried weight. I saw you cry out for clarity, for comfort, for clothing, for courage. And even when you stopped talking, I kept answering in ways you didn't yet have the strength to interpret. What others called weakness, I called worship. What you thought disqualified you, I recorded as devotion. And now I call, not because I'm redeeming what nearly broke you, not in theory, but in power. I'm reaching into those hidden caverns of pain and excavating buried beauty. I'm lifting your head not in shame, but in restoration. The tears you cried in private are about to be answered in public. The silence that swallowed your strength is about to echo with sudden joy. You didn't see it, but while you wept, I was writing. While you sighed, I was sowing. While you broke, I was building a blessing that fits your soul like skin. Not generic, not delayed, not recycled. Redeemed. Redeemed from every betrayal. Redeemed from every disappointment. Redeemed from every closed door. I'm redeeming the very moments you thought disqualified you, and I'm turning them into monuments of my mercy. So don't hide that pain from me. Let me touch it. Let me speak life where it once grew silent. Let me anoint what you thought had no value. Because, child, I didn't come to erase your sorrow. I came to redeem it. I came to weave it into a glory so personal, so piercing, so perfect, that when others see it, they'll ask how it happened. And only you will know the holy weight behind it. You almost gave up, but you didn't. You almost let go, but you held on. And that's why this call is coming now. Because I've waited for this exact moment to redeem what nearly ruined you and restore what quietly kept you alive. Child, the call from heaven is not just for you to receive, it's also for you to release. You've just felt the power of my voice, but now I invite you to become a vessel through which that same voice reaches thousands more. My beloved child, now that you have heard my voice so clearly, I am calling you to become my messenger. Do not keep this word to yourself. I have placed people in your life who are crying out for the very encouragement I have just released to you. As you comment below and share what I have spoken to your spirit, you become a vessel of my glory. Write Amen if this message has ignited faith in your heart. Declare I receive my breakthrough if you believe I am answering your secret prayers right now. Like this video as a public declaration that you are aligning with my word, and share it with someone who needs to know they are not forgotten. When you do, you are not merely posting content. You are releasing my voice into the atmosphere. You are allowing my word to go forth and accomplish what I have sent it to do. And child, as you give this word away, I will multiply it back to you. Your obedience and sharing will unlock new dimensions of my favor over your life. Do not let this divine appointment pass without response. Heaven is waiting to see what you will do with what I have entrusted to you. Your comment can be the very word that shifts someone else's atmosphere. Your share can be the lifeline I use to reach a soul that has been scrolling in despair. So lean in one more time and say yes. Say yes to releasing my voice. Say yes to being my vessel. Say yes to letting this word travel through your hands. I am with you. I am for you. And I am moving even now as you respond in faith. Amen.